Hello, my name is Anjani Dudukuru. I'm a professional engineer with 12 years of experience in building offshore and gas platforms and 12 years in running technology applications. Uh, this is a autonomous AI weld agent which reads welding radiographs and generates reports. There is a human in the loop interface as well. So the core pipeline is it has five phases, which includes pre-processing of the images, AI detection and inference, and a rule engine. So while the AI model analyzes the images, it has to be accepted or rejected based on specific terms, which would be listed in specifications like ASME Section 8 for pressure vessels uh, and ASME 31.3 for piping, etc. So it also depends on the kind of material, whether it is carbon steel, stainless steel, or copper nickel or other kinds of alloys that are used in the industry. So it needs to validate based on those rules and also client specifications to say whether it is a pass or a fail. And then there is autonomous reasoning agent, which would gather all this data and uh, generate a logic and reasoning for the human to read and accept or reject. So the phase five is the human in the loop, which where the human supervisor, he can read the report and accept the report and say and pass it on to his superior, who in turn would accept or reject the report. Then it goes on to the client, and this is the workflow. I have listed the step-by-step workflow here in this page. You can go through it at your convenience. And then there are a few architectural decisions that we have taken while building this application, which is the tool isolation, and then we have given deterministic rules to say whether uh, the report, the defect is accepted or rejected based on the ASME standards, based on the material, and also the client specifications. And there is a hexagonal architecture used where uh, the business logic is connected to several tools and all, which at any time can be changed if needed. So I have divided the architectural diagram into phase one and phase two. The phase one is what the engine does, and phase two is the human in the loop, as you can see here. So you can go through this at your convenience. Now, this is the open source license, and it's also there in the code repository. So this is our Weld agent. We have four models. Um, so two of them are downloaded from the Hugging Face. They are pre-trained models, which are M60 and welding defects YOLO model. I have also taken a RTDETR model, which is trained on 25,000 images or 25,000 iterations, and this is the trained model. So I would prefer using M60, which is trained, and also the trained RTDETR model. Um, there are, I would, this is the image which is uploaded. I would also keep it in the images in the section so that you could try it out. So we run our autonomous agent. We are currently using M60, as you can see here. So we could use any of those four, but my preference would be the M60 model, which is downloaded from Hugging Face. I didn't train this model. And then there is an RTDETR model, which I have trained with 25,000 images. So these are the two things that we can take. Uh, oh, I need to upload the image. Sorry. Okay. Now I think I would have to. So if you look on the left-hand side, it there are options to input the wall thickness and also the application type. It could be piping, it could be pressure vessels, it could be uh, boiler, or it could be a pipeline or valves, etc. So based on that, we also choose the material and whether it is for fabrication. Yeah. So this is the verdict which we got. It says it's a pass, and it has a reasoning here, and then we go to the second phase, which would be the human in the loop. So as you can see here, the human in the loop. So the stage zero is by the technician. Uh, so he can give his reports, no defects found, and submit and sign, which would be digitally signed. So now we are in phase one, stage one. The supervisor would see and accept the report, and then it goes to the client and then to the contractor. So this is the stage two, and download final dual staged sign report. So we can download the report, and so uh, I would also like to probably show the model which I have trained. Yeah. Okay, now let us see what it says. So as you can see, there are several placeholders for the client specifications, for the regulatory codes and standards, etc. But one thing we need to yeah, we can download the report, but before that, we can download the report because I have already shown you the human action. So it includes various, this is all randomly generated data. It is not from any client because the data is anonymized, and it's merely for representation purposes. Yeah. So yeah, and one thing I want to note is the codes and standards, these are all copyrighted, and even the client specifications, these are also copyrighted, and they have to be used with the consent of the client or the contractor for a specific application. So these are only kept as placeholders, and they are not included in training. So when we deploy this application for a specific client, that's when we would be training them, and with proper licenses and everything. So uh, this application should not be taken as a production ready application for that reason.